Okay, I'm back. Now you can see that I've got my whole trunk lid done and everything, and it's all done up nice and tight and whatnot. Even though it's cheap peel and seal, if you get all the air pockets out of it, this stuff will stick and stay. You know, it will stay. It does a good job. Now, on my box, on my face here, you can see I've got two wood screws there I had to put in to make that solid again, because I don't know if you can see it or not, but right here I put a piece of that deadener in there because there was a gap it had beat between it and I couldn't get it to seal back up tight. But so I did that and screwed it up really good. And no more air leakage for now, which is good, but it isn't going to hold. Not to these massive subs. I just think I don't have them in a big enough box, even though it is a pretty big box. You know, it's for 210s. It's pretty massive, but I want to go bigger because them subs definitely can move some air. I mean, for the size motors that they have in them and everything, and I think they're triple stack motors on them. Quantums, I'm pretty sure they're triple stack 180 ounce magnets. So now you can see I've got all my interior put back in of my car, you know, my trunk and everything. What you didn't see is that I've got all new rear decking in the car all the way up. You know, I molded it all to the shape of the trunk. And of course, you know, I had to stitch up the seams because I had to reduce it to fit it in the car. But I got it to match up as good as I could, so it wasn't noticeable, and it's still solid. On the other side, I did the same thing, but I got this amp mounted over it, and I've got it mounted on some spacers now. You've seen it on a different piece of wood the last time, so that's all done up nice and neat. And we're getting all that done, you know, it's all ready to go. I've reduced the weight in my trunk of my car by about at least 30 pounds, 40 pounds, which has brought my ass end up a little bit. These subs don't look like much, but I'm close to 300 pounds with the subs in the box, so, or at least 260, at least 260 pounds with just them 210s in that box, because it's got that double baffle face plate on it, but it's just not enough. I'm going to get a bigger box. The box I'm getting is going to be putting in here, I guess you could say. Since I cannot do the work myself, I got someone building me a box. It's going to be 4 cube. I'm going to have it port tuned at 32 hertz. And it's going to be, this has got a 3/4 inch frame with like a 1 1/4 inch front baffle on it, but or maybe it's a 1 inch. Maybe it's a piece of 3/4 with a piece of 1 inch for the baffle. I think that's what it is. Or no, it's 1/4 inch and then 3/4 inch for the backing, and then the 1/4 inch for the front faceplate of the baffle. It's still not enough, so that's what I'm going to continue to do. Save up the money for that box, the materials and everything. For the materials of the other box, it's going to cost me about $150. I love that solid sound now. You know, that's a great thing to have. Also, I did, I'm going to be working on my headlight here to clean up the lens a little bit because it's not matching the other side. I went ahead and redid my vent in vinyl. And then, I got a new voltage meter, or digital voltage gauge there now. I put it there for now, just because it was the best place for me to put it for now, and I can see it while I'm driving without having to look down away from the road or anything like that. So, that's another update. Also, on the back, I told you guys that I had Got 85 CFM fan. The 85 CFM fan is gone. I needed something to keep this amp cooler in the heat. Hey, what do you know? Found treasure everywhere in my car. Anyways, I don't know if you guys could ever see, but I do have two Kinetic 600 HBs back down underneath there, so they are quite good. You know, each one of them I think is 20 amp hours, so I got a total of 40 amp hours in that, plus the 800 Everstart battery underneath the hood, which is going to be changed out here pretty soon. I'm going to be putting in a 1400 underneath the hood as well. It's got, I think it's an 80 amp hour battery, so altogether I will have 120 amp hours, which, you know, for that big amp is nice. Even though with my big alternator, as long as I'm driving, my voltage don't drop. But if you can hear that, that is my new 200 CFM fan. Yes, that's right, I said 200 CFM. It's a 4-inch fan that will definitely keep more than just one amp cool, but I figured it in this kind of heat out here in Arkansas, it's brutal when it gets over 100 degrees and I have black interior, heats that amp up. I can get it cool in a heartbeat. I've got a AC vent that goes in underneath the seat on the driver's side here, so for rear climate control, which helps out a lot. And I can blow cool air right up underneath that amp. There are some ventilations underneath the amp, so when I blow that fan up the way it is, believe it or not, I was quite impressed. It's moving air through the inside of the internal system of the amp, which is really nice to have. High punks are good with them in ventilations on there. And with that 200 CFM fan, it's like a freaking reefer unit underneath there when it's... Sorry, I had to set my phone down for a second to move some stuff, but yeah, it's like a reefer unit underneath there. When I kick my AC on in my car and run it in the floor, I can get that rear amp cool in a matter of about 2 minutes, which is a nice thing to have when you're in 118 degree heat plus, you know. So I don't run my amp hard in the heat. Only in the evenings will I turn my amp up, you know, if it's cool enough outside, after the temperature's dropped enough to where it doesn't affect the performance of the amp. And so I'm not hurting any of the internal components. But that's it for now, guys. Except for me cleaning that up. But you know, this is the day before the 4th of July. So hopefully I'll have a bass bed this evening. Which is after this one. I'm going to go ahead and post this video up and get it up, and then I'll have another one with some bass later, and then maybe another one with some fireworks tomorrow. So, alright guys, until then, peace out.